I tried to recording yesterday, but it didn't work, and I I think my surfing table is old and too old now. I need to buy me a new one when I'm coming back to Sweden. It is the 27 December, just December 27, 2022, and I was on a date yesterday evening with a taxi driver that I met when I come back out from the Rock of Dome, and have done to return back to Jerusalem, and I was thinking that he was maybe that man that God was sending to me, because it was so strange how we met, and so I gave him a chance yesterday, and I go with him in his taxi. It's not a taxi company. It is that they own their own taxi cab, and it's in some are in a net system only and pay a fee for that, but they own their own taxi cab here in Jerusalem. So he come, and I say that he should come into the hotel and meet me there in the hotel. So it was public, and those that work in the hotel could see him. So if something happened, they could tell the police about him. And so I told him that on email, that he should come into the hotel, and we could sit and talk, and then see from where we are going where. And then just some minutes before he should come, he sent me an email and said that it was hard to find a parking place. And that was a lie. That I knew. And so he said that I should come out and go into his taxi when he's coming. So that was his way to do it, and that was a red flag for me. But I still wanted to know exactly what was going on. You know, I have told you about my brain is not working as it should, working for other people. As I have been, a car have drive over me, and some of this function in my brain is not working as it should, with those red flags. And he drove me to Mount of Olives, and that was fun because that's where I started. That's where I was the first time in 2011, and now I was back in Mount Olives, but it was dark. It was darkness. I was in Mount Olives the first time when it was light, and now was it dark. And that was a special sign from God that it was darkness. But it was beautiful to be up in the mountain there and look down into the valley of David City and in distance see the Dome of Rock there on the other side. It was very beautiful, but that I understood it was a place where people drive their cars because there was no light in that street, the parking place there. So it was darkness and you couldn't see into the cars, the other cars. So I knew it was some place where taxi driver drove those special people. So he was not what I wanted him to be. He wanted to have sex with me. But I have a defend. I have something, a weapon, that most people don't have. Because I was talking to heaven. I asked them to help me to come out from this situation. Because he was much taller than me and very muscles, very fitness, and I'm disabled. I sit in his car, and he opened up his pants and took it out. And I told him before he did it, I knew he should open his pants. I told him to not do it, but he was so hot for it, and so I hold it in my hand, and because he forced me, I didn't do it on my own will. So it was a little like being raped and harassment, and he took all over my body, and but I told him. I talked to him about it, that I am not into that, especially not in the car. So I say to him, that's not my way to do it. I told him. So he calmed down, and then he drove me back to the hotel. So I was away about 45 minutes, and so I heaven helped me to get out from that situation. It's very sad. I believe that he felt something from God, but it was his nature in him that was more stronger in him than what God could tell him. He felt some kind of love that come from God, but he translated in between his legs. So that was very sad because I liked him, and but he told me that he had. I asked him, how can you speak so good English? I say, and then he said that he had been in a school student in Bethlehem in university, and so I knew he was Muslim, and that it doesn't bother me about that, because God is God, no matter what name it is on him. So that was okay, and he told very much about himself, and I think he was more telling the truth yesterday, because when he come and picked me up in Rock of Dom. He say he was 51, and yesterday he say he was 53. So what does it matter for me that he is 70 old? 2 years, it doesn't matter. It's and the age doesn't matter either for me anymore. I can, yeah, you say that, I can say that because in my age you are okay with all people that is under your age. But it's not about that with age, because there is young people that can be like an old person. Is an old person that can be like me. I'm an old person, but I am young. So people don't think I am in my age. So he thought maybe we were in the same age. So he told me he was divorced. I just told him that we could, are you divorced and have no one in your home? Why can't we go to your home? I say to him. In the beginning I was very hot. I was very, very hot. It was in my body the whole time. I was thinking I should take a nap before I met him. But I couldn't sleep because I was so hot. But the way he treated me made me cold. So if he had taken me to his home, it had been different. I don't do sex in the car. That is something to be suspicion about. Why in the car when you have a place to be in the bed or wherever you want to have that sex, and not in a car that is hard to be in. And I have been there because I have been young and foolish and was not with God in that time. So I have done it in the cars, many cars. And then he wanted me to take him into the hotel in my room. And I say, I think it doesn't work because it's really Jewish hotel. So I think it's not impossible to bring in someone in your room. It's an official place, only public place to be in if you should meet me. I say to him, so that was some suspicion. So in my opinion, in how I saw it, it's 80% that he was married. It was almost truth. And I was very glad and thankful that I come back to the hotel without being raped. It doesn't matter to hold his little pin there. It doesn't matter. I clean up my hands very, very much. I took this alcoholic for the hands for diseases to take that away. So I clean up me very well. And so I was very disappointed. But it belonged to the story of Jerusalem. I have been in Jerusalem in 4 seasons. The first time when I come to Jerusalem, it was summer. It was 100 degrees Fahrenheit or more here. It was very hot weather. And today is it 51 Fahrenheit in lunchtime. It's winter now. So I'm going from the summer to the winter. That's also a sign in what time we are in. And I am going to take some picture of the center of Jerusalem. They have forced people to leave their home. It's empty houses here because they are going to build high scrape buildings here. And I say when I come back to the hotel to this girl, she is 26, young woman. I told her they want to build a new Dubai in Jerusalem. It's only about money, to bring in so much money they can into Israel, doing like Disneyland of Jerusalem. And it's very sad, but it is. This is God's time. It's this how to show it, that how bad this Israel have been, and they still call it the Holy Land, but the Holy Land doesn't exist. It was Jacob that was changed name to Israel, and so Jacob and Israel is a person, not a country. It's a nation. Israel is a nation. A nation is a group of people that have the same way of living their life under God. That is what God wants us to do. And it have nothing with religions to do. It have nothing with tradition to do. It's in yourself. And that's, it's a spirit here now. It's a spirit now coming through and touch me and want to tell you these things. I almost cry because it's so beautiful what he is saying. He's saying that to you and to me, that he's on his way to build a community between us, you that listen, and me, and God, and all those that is in heaven that should be in heaven, and that is not those that running around on the meadow that I have seen. Those is like children, they don't know anything. But those that is inside the city, is they that am talking to you, that they are building a community for you to understand the real truth, because there is very little truth here on earth today. It's so much about money. They built away God because they believe more in money than God. And it's only, you can see how drunk they are, those Jewish, Orthodox Jewish, are they dancing and are total crazy and drinking so much. I saw a little of it. The first time I was here, I was shocked. No, it was the second time I was here in Purim, and they told me that's only in Purim they drink it, so they are so drunk. And they are allowed to see and feel how it is to live in sin. That's why they are allowed to drink. So they are drunk, falling down in the streets. But they still are doing this, and this is not Purim. So that was truth in that time. I think it was 2013 I was here when it was Purim, and it maybe was in that time, but it has been so much more worse now. And they lie for you as a tourist. They want you to come into guided groups for you to see the lie that they have built up. They have built up many sites that is, it could have been that they have been here. It could have been a grave here that they are laying in. But it is not evidence of it. It's only that they want your money as a tourist. And today at the hotel it was full of American people here, and they waiting. When I was to the breakfast at 9 o'clock, they gathering and should travel away with a guide, waiting for a bus to take them to a fake place where they wanted them to spend the money on. So that is what God is showing me, and I will tell you more when I come back to Sweden than what I say today, because this is a open network line, and so they can download what I am talking about. I think there is spies going on in this country, as I can tell from the Dome of Rock that I was in. It was fun to have the military walking with me to not let me be killed of those Muslims that was angry that I was to that site where the bridge was built once for a long time ago. But God and heaven show me that place. And I think they were worried about that I sit in this security place that is only some people that know about. But God told me. And I didn't show that I was praying. And this Muslim God came and screaming at me and say, you are not allowed to pray here. But I was just have ended my prayer with God, sitting like nothing was going on. I didn't have my hands together or something. I didn't do anything with my body because I was talking in telepathy to God, or in my mind, as He had taught me to do. He taught me already when I was homeless in United States. He said to me that I could talk to Him in my mind, and that was in maybe 2002. And when I was on the bus, He said to me that you can sit and talk to me here on the bus, and I hear you, and I can talk to you here, even if there is much people around you. We can talk to each other, He said. And since then I know it. You don't need to show it. And I think there is in the Bible saying that. It's Jesus say you're hypocrites. You're standing in the corner and prayer, and they showing that they are praying, that they showing that they are so holy. So that helped me when I was there in the Rock of the Dome. He didn't see me pray, but he told me that I should not pray there. I laughed inside me also because it was fun that just when I ended my prayer, he come close to me and say, "You're not allowed to pray here." So it is a little cold outside, but I have clothes with me to carry if it's a little, because it's winter in Sweden, so I need to have clothes for it to come home in the winter time, and the winter here also, but it's not the same degrees, but it's very cold now. It's going down to +4 Celsius, and that is what it is in my town in Sweden when it's winter. It doesn't go under. It's very seldom. This winter, when I was here, when I have been here in Jerusalem, it have been very freezing cold in Sweden. But normally is it like this temperature that is in Jerusalem this week. So I need to go out to buy me food, because there is food just over the street, but I don't want to support those. It's druggy place and homosexual places. So I don't want to go to those places. I'm going to a real store to buy me products to eat and not buy already done food, because I can heat up food by I have water to boil, could boil water, and that I can spread on my food that I do. So thank you for listening. I will see if this surf plate tablets is working next time I want to do an episode. It's very sad about this, about what become about Israel, but it is not about the Holy Land. It's about holy people. And when I come back from Israel 2016, I asked, do I need to be at the Mount of Olive and see you coming, the Messiah coming there? And God answered me, and he said, I find you wherever you are, because it's not a country. It is a nation of people, a group of people. That is Israel, not a country. That's what God told me 2016. Thank you for listening. I love you and God loves you. And be blessed.